I'm Andrew Denham and I work for the Office of Environment and Heritage in New South Wales, and we're at Kinchega National Park on a part of the Darling River floodplain, and you can see in the landscape in front of us there's some bands of vegetation, slightly different colours, and what those bands represent is different degrees of flooding by the most recent flood, and also there's an influence of different soil types. So in the foreground here we've got black bluebush, and it doesn't tolerate flooding very well, so this clearly hasn't had a lot of water on it. And then beyond that there's a paler area which is pale poverty bush, a sclerolina, and then further beyond that you can see some bare soil which has got no vegetation, that's had water on it the longest, and around that there are different patches of other species that occur in there, including salt bushes like Atriplex spongiosa, which is one of the Beckler species that we've been looking for. So in front of us now we've got the sclerolinas. The pale poverty bush seems to dominate the landscape, and I think what's going on here is there's an influence of the sandy soils that allows that species to predominate, but it's been too wet for the black bluebush to survive there, for the Mariana. So it's uncommon in here, and there's a few skeletons from where it's been previously, and the poverty bush dominates. So here we're in the transition between the black bluebush country and the poverty bush country here, the paler coloured stuff. And the black bluebush can't tolerate standing water for very long, so in this part of the country it's had water on it long enough for most of the plants to be killed, and they've been replaced by these poverty bushes, the sclerolinas. You can see now that we've walked from the cars and the road through the bluebush part of the plain and then across the poverty bush part of this plain, and the next step now will be into the salt bushes, and there are some already appearing in this shot, including Atriplex spongiosa, which is on the Beckler list, and we've also got Bulbine alata, which is another Beckler plant here. So this part of the landscape's had water on it for a bit longer than the other bits that we've been through so far, and the really distinctive thing about this part are the salt bushes, which are this blue-green vegetation that's in front of us now, including Atriplex spongiosa and Atriplex angulata, and they're tolerant of heavy soils, so the heavy grey clays, and of waterlogged soils. So in front of us now is a field with a different species of sclerolina, mostly Sclerolina brachyptera, and there's still a few black bluebush plants growing in amongst there, and I'm not sure what's distinguishing that part of the landscape. It might be that the soils are just a bit too hard for some of the other species to get in there, but clearly it's had water over it at some stage, but not for any extended period. And then beyond that plains area you can see the dunes that have the hopbush growing on them, and so we've got another suite of species that prefers the deeper sandy soils, and in this case dominated by hopbush, dodoneas, and also prickly wattles, Acacia victoria.